Welcome to our exploration of transitional justice, an essential process for societies emerging from conflict and injustice. In this 15-minute journey, we will delve into the critical principles and practices of transitional justice, examine how they pave the way for healing, accountability, and lasting peace as we navigate through powerful stories, expert insight, and real world examples. We will highlight the vital role that transitional justice plays in confronting the past and building a brighter future. Every story has a turning point, a moment that changes everything. Today, we will hear from Fatumani, a victim whose life took an unexpected and harrowing turn. In her own words, she will share the truth of her experience, revealing the strength it takes to stand tall in the face of adversity.
Ntala mu Fatmane dolka fonye famane November 11 victim kabring November 11 1994 ye ndokoto makewo ye wala fa Lieutenant Bakar Mane nyancho biri ka fa atala mu family nyati anabulo nasimo bari alfali ya tele karande pro nyin kamala ko asima ko no soma mobe kele dimba karande wala kam ina tana fa bire ya fa kole ya kubala tanka paske molu boritanna even aterolu mammoje ngamra mo killing mi yalon ko kon saje ngafa ko nyancho tero mo nyenati dun takole ya kolo kono mi yalon fanko after 11 November wati sotanum fan ninna wululalu kabore katasi wulo kono paske sojaro lebe sterim bara min yalon ko ikananan iko kana nyancho famale no kan ruka ares ning yenga information o soto drive for la min yalon ko kabona bara iko nyoko nganyin kuma na mo roso mo nte mo fama na family bi mbe katinya wulola kono ko wularole nkasena anika bi wole an tumando bato nim programme o dolu sotota iko mo la kole ya ko munete pour yafo nka yiro le dro parce que yiro nyanga kilo kata munaka nka jela ko wotuma kata si o yiro la koto pour kam fan soto no se kayro soto no je nyamen ye nyancho fa ay dinkili na soto jeme braka o dingo soto wotuma anala muso adingo be kar nani biri ba fala after ala muso na ta na ko be ke kata bakaw bringa mo sana sabala ko kudeta la kata bar mun ya ko nin tolla ko kudeta manche bar tolla ni nyancho ella nyoka nyancho maje mufla na sak finti kata kanana nsalon ko ka be kuleto fo talan nan mi na ta kam maka nyanta tala patrol abitaw patrol la bank bukota ay de paso dia musul nyadan tala wala victimul jamal be jeto mi an ko traumatized tal e kaje hanni event sotota e kam mol call individual ka fo ko nganyine soto e ka fo ko ntinala parce que munan netina e be damento ila miro be damento ani min be chere amantra chelente e ka fo le mbatatale kilim kilim ko men kon tol nyon mi an ko ka wacel yaaje ko mbe nyim celo minata man celo cem fangoy parce que ni mo denta kula ta kan hanna tara te je nyanta le lo akoma wala yaten bar batabe waralin victinol batata modol be jeto e mela luwasolu jono fatu dolu be jeto be kurandi be la rangolu kan imam mo soto min be jaral o jaral ni on yan ko ke soto walla ma tolti sie sol min yanon ko albejang sako ko sie sol mi yan ka boko ko wef walla be lorin victinol le pour kam fasa ka jaralolu dinna kan support kol dolula victinol bi reparation o nyanta ka soto bari ni victino le reparation so don kanyum kurantol min foto wala min yalon ko dingol be karan wala mam ma ko bundalu soto si fam ma ko no jetonol ye jara ye dingolu karandi ye business in dingolu ke min yalon ko fajandi ba fale mari man satalla be kil ite ibullala moy ka fay ko konso yo no ku si falu keta victino le reparation soto hakatu nyololu keta to mando bato isi afono moyle ko yam fate bari ñino wonte fo janni ba fulan be ñino sotol parce que ko mi ye soto duniya bele ñaaji wote keno bari ay tunkuŋol le soto tunkuŋol min ya lon ko wolle ñanta kela bari ko ku step by step lam ni wolu sotota iba jala ko kon si murno ñoka misal me banko la mun to la jante misal molu mun te kristianol bija bar hanni momo be dina o dina to ni moy ku jawo ke yal kale muru ñoka al sa murno ñoka bara bataral fana kule sotota min batinano albe murlano ñoka.
In the midst of uncertainty and change, civil society organizations play a vital role in advocating for the rights and needs of the most vulnerable. Their dedication to amplifying marginalized voices and pushing for systematic change has helped shape the courses of history. Here today, we have Zainab Lobalde from the Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, WAVE Gambia, to shed light on the work they do.
My name is Zainab Lobalde. I work with WAVE as the Outreach and External Relations Coordinator. WAVE was founded by 7 women who were very key in the transitional justice process, um, who were also working with the initiation of the Victim Center. And during that time, we realized that a lot of women were not forthcoming with their issues. Thus, the gap in the whole process, and we decided that we work with women to enhance their participation in the transitional justice process. We do quite a number of empowerment for women. We raise their awareness on the transitional justice processes. We try as much as possible to make sure that they're forthcoming with their issues. We empower them with supporting them with livelihood support. We empower them with medical, but moreover, we build a platform for them to be able to talk about issues of concern to them. As we know, we live in an atmosphere where women are not very forthcoming with their issues. We're usually told, you don't have to talk about your issues. But what we do is we build a platform to empower them, to give them that space to be able to talk about um, what is really bothering them, but also to enhance their participation in the whole transitional justice process. A lot of initiatives have been done. For example, we've had the Cairo Bengo, the Cairo Balundi platform, where although we highlight men, but women came out to talk about their issues. They said this is with the victims of the witch hunt. We also try to bridge the gap between the victims and the state to give them that platform to speak out for themselves. Because, as you know, they say, he who feels it knows it. So, who can speak better than the victim? So, there's this, mechanism that we've used where we bring victims into different platforms to talk about their issues and, just make a case for themselves. We've also, supported victims to also empower other victims. When we go to the communities, we try and bring along other victims to come out and, just to empower other victims and to encourage them to talk about their issues. So, in my view, I think the transitional justice process has been very, very important, especially being a victim of secondary enforced appearances when my brother was enforced appeared. I think it has been able to open a lot of doors for many victims to know about the plight of their loved ones, to seek for redress, to seek for accountability, justice, reparation, and the list goes on. For me, I believe that the transitional justice process is one that should continue to support victims, but also to hold the state accountable and to hold them responsible for what has been done in the Gambia.
In the pursuit of healing and reconciliation, transitional justice serves as a vital framework for societies emerging from conflict and trauma. It seeks not just to address the past, but to lay the groundwork for a more just and equitable future. Today, we are joined by Sophie Nyang from the Ministry of Justice post-TRRC unit, who will shed light on the principles and practices of transitional justice and how they aim to restore dignity, promote accountability, and foster lasting peace. Her insight will guide us through this essential process of transformation.
My name is Safia Tunyang. I work as a legal officer at the post TRRC unit under the Ministry of Justice. The post TRRC unit was established by the implementation plan, actually, the government's implementation plan to the white paper made room for the creation of a secretariat that will coordinate the implementation of the TRRC recommendations. And that secretariat is what we now call the post-TRRC unit, and it is headed by the special advisor to the Attorney General on Transitional Justice. So the unit is housed at the Ministry of Justice, and our main role, the key function of the, you know, the post-ARRC unit, or the PTU as we call it in short, is to coordinate the implementation of the recommendations across all the implementing entities. We have about basically all the government ministries have a role to play in the implementation of the TRRC recommendations, but we also have other agencies that are not ministries. For example, the National Center for Arts and Culture, we have the National Council for Civic Education, and so many other agencies. So we coordinate the implementation of all the work that these various entities are doing. And we also serve as the secretariat to the apex body of implementation, that is the National Steering Committee, which comprises all the government ministries in the country, and the Alliance of Victim-Led Organizations, the Bar Association, and Tango are a part of it. So they're more like at the apex of it all. So that's the major role that we play. We're not an implementing entity, but we're a coordinating unit. So the support mechanisms in place have different aspects. We have the medical board that is providing medical assistance to victims and being funded by the government. So the medical board has basically different doctors that are experts in their fields that sit on a weekly basis to assess the victims that need urgent medical attention, and they provide them with the required treatment that they need. So we work closely with the victim-led organizations, the Alliance of Victim-Led Organizations, to ensure that the victims that need the support know about the existence of the board, but are also able to reach it. And through various interventions, the victims are now being provided with psychosocial support, and they're also being provided with financial support that will be able to bring them to the medical board and back. Those that are coming with escorts are also given that assistance, so they get transport refund and they get to see a medical doctor as well. And there's provision for the purchase of medication that is not available internally at the hospital. So that is one aspect, but this was more or less a temporary measure that was put in place because the main body that will be considering the reparations aspect is the Reparations Commission, which is established by an act of parliament. And currently we're in December. The National Assembly is due to consider the final 7 reparations commissioners that will be appointed. And they've indicated that by the 20th of December, the Public Appointments Committee of the National Assembly will present a final report indicating that, these would the final 7 names that they would be appointing. They would be recommending for appointment as commissioners for the Reparations Commission. And the Reparations Commission has that mandate of paying reparations to victims that were identified by the TRRC, but also victims that did not have the opportunity to go to the TRRC. So they have quite a broad mandate, and they will be considering that. And aside from the financial reparations, they would also be considering all other aspects of the government will take ownership of all other aspects of reparations, but the Reparations Commission will be administering the reparations fund, which is the fund that is going to be strictly for the payment of reparations to victims. And that is clearly spelled out in the Victims Reparations Act. Next year, we're just looking forward to implementing our strategy. We're focusing on what matters, and that is ensuring that we implement the recommendations to the best of our to the best of our abilities. Like all the implementing agencies would do what they're supposed to do, and the post ARC unit will continue the coordination to ensure that it's done effectively and in the best way possible. Now that the ECOWAS has agreed and signed on the statute for the special tribunal, we know that a lot of work lies ahead. So we intend to remain focused on getting the job done, because for me that is what is important.
From the heart of community to the halls of power, transitional justice represents a collective effort. It's about acknowledging the past, honoring the victims, and paving the way for a future rooted in respect and human rights. Together, we can create a legacy of justice and healing.